All right, everyone, welcome here tonight. My name's Dan Sullivan. So I took over as fire chief 6 months ago from Chief Archer. Chief Archer had the vision of starting this youth program. This year, I'd like to welcome up a few people who were instrumental in getting this year off of the ground. So Mayor Nicholson and Deputy Superintendent Ruggiero, if it wasn't for these two, their collaboration along with our people, this never would have happened. So for them, I'm very appreciative for the collaboration. I'd also like to introduce a couple of the counselors. So counselors at large, Brian Field, counselor at large, Nicole McLean, and Ward 5 counselor, Diane Chakutis.
Thank you, Chief Sullivan. I'm Jared Nicholson. I'm the Mayor of Lynn, and it is my honor on behalf of the city to congratulate all the participants of this summer's program. You all did tremendous work, and we are so proud of what you've done this summer and what you've learned, and excited for what you're going to do to serve our community. A huge thank you to the team at the Lynn Fire Department. My colleagues on the council and on the school committee and throughout the city all would join in expressing our gratitude for the program that you've put together to be able to show the next generation your example of service and commitment to this community, to keeping all of us safe. And we need folks to continue to step up, and it is so exciting to have people in our community start to think about that, start to do that, and going the extra mile to give these students a really formative experience is incredibly appreciated and valuable in this age. So thank you so much, Lynn Fire. I'd also like to thank the Lynn School Department, represented here this evening by Deputy Superintendent and Deborah Ruggiero and Molly Cohen for their effort in getting this program up and running, for the recruitment, administration, and support. It is an awesome partnership to see the Lynn Public Schools caretaking for our students' experience now, and also thinking about the next steps for those students and also for our entire community to be able to have the next generation of public safety coming from our city, serving our city. So thank you to Lynn Public Schools, thank you to the Lynn Fire Department, and most importantly, thank you to our youth participant and your families for supporting you and for you stepping up. We can't wait to support you going forward as you support us in this community. Congratulations. So the City Council and my office would like to present these certificates as a symbol of our appreciation. And so, yeah, sure. We will start with Andy Barrios. Andy. Congratulations, Andy. Joshua Krasko. Brian Rivera. Brian. Zachary Heafy. Peter Lopez.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Yeah. Carlos Gonzalez Laura. Ronald Mañana.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Valerie Mauricio. Christopher Rodriguez. Kevin Smart.
Congratulations. Good job.
Jeffrey Skeet Tama. Hurley Kalisma.
Once again, I'd like to thank Mayor Nicholson and his team, the city councilors, for taking time out of their day to come out here to congratulate everyone and present all of you with these certificates. Again, thank you, family members, for sharing them with us. Thank you. So, moving on. So, this year's program, I said, couldn't have happened without the teamwork between the Lynn School Department and the City of Lynn. But it also couldn't have happened without some hard work and dedication of a few of our members. District Chief Rob McIntosh, Captain Ryan Brown. So these two members were given the task early in the, probably late winter, that we were going to run this program again. So they took Chief Archer's vision from the prior year and built off of it. And I think they put together a really good program, which we'll talk about as the night goes on. We've also, so one of my goals for this year, and the mayor knows this, one of my goals was to create a better partnership with the fire department, with the city of Lynn. And I think this is exactly how we can do this. Our team got a bunch of youths right out of the school system, and we exposed them to what we do here in the fire department. There's plenty of other things out there, plenty of other job opportunities, but this is really one of those callings, I would say, that if you don't have the exposure early on to see what it truly is like, it can be a daunting, scary task to just sign up, take the test, and get on the department not knowing what you're getting yourself into. So as you can all attest now, this is a passion. Some of you may not have enjoyed it. Some of you might have really liked it, and I'm glad if we could have exposed you to all of this, to what we do here in the fire service. So I want to give a 2-second story about my experience, why I bring that up. So I got hired in 1996, and my first day in training, ironically, it was Chief Archer, my predecessor, who came in to do a presentation on our SCBA. So for those of you who don't know, the SCBA is that breathing apparatus which brings the air in, what allows us to breathe inside of a fire. So Chief Archer came in at the time, he was only a firefighter at that time, and he put the SCBA on the table, and he also brought his gear. And when he took his helmet off, he put it on the table, and ash came out of his helmet. And I got the chills. I went, what did I just get myself into? Up until then, I thought it was all pretend, right? We get on the fire department, you see the movies, you know, you see what people do, and I saw real ash, and I got butterflies in my stomach. And that was my day. I think a program like this gives the students an opportunity to see that this is for real. When we climb the ladders, they are high. When we do search techniques, you don't get to see anything. If we're getting in trouble, then we have to use specialized techniques to get us out of that trouble, let alone go after the civilians or the victims that we're there to protect. So I think this is a really good way of exposing people to exactly what we do here as a fire department. So some of what these students did, so I spoke about putting on the gear, all the protective equipment. They climbed ladders, they searched for victims, they practiced self-rescue techniques, and they learned a little bit about providing medical treatment, just to name a few. In addition to that, from Captain Ryan Brown, so I'll take a step back again. So a few years ago, I was in District Chief McIntosh's position, and I also teach at the Fire Academy, the Mass Fire Academy. One of the things I did for Lynn when I went in there, when I was in that position, is I took the Mass Fire Academy recruit program and I knocked it down into a manageable program that we can use to teach all of our new firefighters. So the reason we have to do that, to get into the Mass Fire Academy, it takes about 6, 7, 8 months. So when we hire people, we have to get them ready for the real thing until we can get them trained. It's a scary time for anyone that's in this position to give someone most of the information, but not all of the information. So if I was in that position, all these students would have seen was the basic skills, putting on the turnout gear, climbing a few ladders, doing a few search techniques. But what Captain Brown did was he exposed them to the whole array of what the fire service does. So he brought them to the Mass Fire Academy to see how the recruits train while they're out there. They visited the state hazmat team to see all the tools and equipment that are needed in case there's a chemical or biological release in the community. They met with the state police and our Lynn fire investigators to see how we determine how and why a fire started. They were given a tour of the Lynn Police Department by Officers Brianna Anderson and Kaylin Deschaines. They operated our ATV vehicles, which we used primarily out in the woods to go search for lost hikers or injured mountain bikers. And they saw our drone, which gives us and all of our partners a bird's eye view of what's going on. We use that drone to be able to see if there's a fire out in the woods, if it's expanding or if we're containing it. We use it to see where crowds are moving throughout the city. We use it for traffic control. We look at rooftops with that. We use it with water and sewer to check their overhead tanks as well. And they even took a ride on in one of our boats out in the harbor. So you can see all this, it took an awful lot, right? An awful lot of coordination. And it couldn't have happened without the men and women that you see here. So I'd like to call them specifically by name. And some of them are not here tonight, but I think it honors them if we still say their names. So we had 3 lead instructors. Kyle Emmons. Patrick Britt. And Brett Johnson. And then up here we have some assistant instructors. We have, and we can hold the applause, how about we just, because we have a lot here. So Patrick Capola, Andre Painshaw, and if you're here, please raise your hand. Jacob Bradley, Lieutenant Jovan Ector, Doug Surratt, Captain Mike Noon, Captain Tim Layton, Captain John Garbo, District Chief Joe Zukas, Lieutenant Kevin Phipps, Ryan Cadet, Lieutenant Stacy Borgeson, Jim Mackey, Dennis Ring, Captain Steve Stilley, Firefighter Tony Yuba, Lieutenant Mike Smith, Investigator Matt Donahue, Scott Watson, and we had a retired firefighter, Joe Cadet, who shared all of his experiences and took the photos that you see up here tonight. So as you can see, no one person can do this alone. We had a lot of interest from across the city and across our department, and I'm proud to see so many of our firefighters get involved. I'd also like to mention another component of the youth program. So what I mentioned was a lot of physical stuff that they did, but there's an awful lot of education that goes along with it. So what Captain Brown did was he put together a pre-test for all of them to go through. And I'm really proud to say they doubled their score. So the initial pre-test, for obvious reasons, they haven't been exposed to it. They're not firefighters yet. It was a pretty low grade. When all was said and done, they were in the 80s for their education. That's and why I spend the time, to talk about that, again, teaching out at the Mass Fire Academy, I tell the new recruits, we're really good at being able to teach tips and tricks to be able to do the skills. We can get people to overcome their fears to climb ladders, but we can't get that knowledge inside of you. That's on you, all right? And you really stepped it up, and you really learned what you were supposed to do for this program in a very short amount of time. So again, I applaud you for that. So a few other thank yous before we get into the presentations. He's not here tonight, but Ryan Newhall from Newhall Real Estate has been very generous and done a lot of behind-the-scenes work for us. So again, he was one of the visionaries. It was Ryan Newhall, Leon Elwell, and Chief Archer at the time that had the vision for this program. So what Ryan has done is they got water bottles for them to use. The union has stepped up and got the uniforms that you see that they're wearing, and done an awful lot. So again, I'd like to thank Ryan. I know he's not here tonight, but I think it's well worth mentioning everything that he's done behind the scenes for the program. I'd like to also thank Allison Perry, who's not here tonight. She's from Community Development. She was able to secure finances for all of them through a youth program, so that they got paid for coming. So they got a good experience, and they also didn't waste their summer. They were able to get a little bit of pocket money for joining the program. Again, the Lynn School Department, especially Deputy Ruggiero and Molly Cohen, for helping us out throughout this event and finding these motivated students. That was another challenge of ours, was to find out who would be the right fit for this program. And that's not our specialty. We reached out to them. They were more than willing to select you. So for all of you, I don't know if you know that or not, that it was them that chose you. So you showed something in them to say that you'd be a good fit. So thank you. Thank you for giving us good students. Two others, McGrath Enterprises has been generous behind the scenes again with donations in allowing us to use their building. So for those of you who don't know, on the last day of training, we take the recruits and we put them through what it would be like to be in a real fire. Certainly no heat, but we use rail ladders. They climb the ladders, they advance hoses into the building. We have a smoke machine so they can't see what's going on. and we have a whole bunch of our friends here that are strategically placed inside the building and near the ladders so that they don't get hurt. It just shows the true value of coordination. And Dennis Cataldo, owner of Cataldo Ambulance, he has graciously donated a couple scholarships towards their EMT program. So 2 of these students will get an EMT certificate. Firefighter Erickson Sang has put together a short little video for us, so you can see not just what I'm saying, you can see some of the pictures about what these young cadets have done over the past month. Before I call up a few people for the presentations, Andy, you want to come sit with your class? We don't want you left out. All right, so for the presentation of the certificates, I'd like to call up District Chief McIntosh and Captain Ryan Brown. All right, hi everyone. We'll get right to it. Andy Barrios. Josh Krasker. Jeffrey Eskeet. Brian Guevara. Zachary Heapy. Carlos Gonzalez. Peter Lopez. Ronald Manana. Valerie Mauricio.
Yeah.
Kevin Smart. Curly Kalisma. And last but not least, Christopher Rodriguez, who is unable to be with us tonight. So some of you see my buddy over here who doesn't have his uniform on, but so this is Mario Lopez. Mario's the president of our union right now. I couldn't say enough good words about him. You know, years past there might have been some tension between the union and you know the department itself, but that hasn't been the case you know, in the 20+ years that I've been here. I'm so happy to call him a friend, and I just asked if he would like to say a few words for everyone.
All right, good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Firefighter Mario Lopez. I'm the president of Local 739, Lynn Firefighters Union. I get to solve all the problems and issues for everybody here, the 200 of us or so. Well, you guys might have seen me shaking everybody's hands, and I bet you they weren't expecting it, but what I was giving them was these challenge points. To keep it, for those of you that don't know, I'll keep it quick, a Reader's Digest version. A challenge coin is often given from one person to another for something that they've done, job well done. There's other rules and stuff for the challenge coins, but they're a little bit too young for that. What I wanted to do was express something from the union to the children that participated in this program that shows them that they did a job well done, and it was noticed by more than just the guys in the uniforms, the guys with the brass, the people from City Hall, from whatever. So these challenge coins, they can only be earned. They can't be bought. they can't, you could trade them amongst yourselves along those lines, things like that. If you feel somebody deserves it and they did something good, go ahead and trade it off. But like I said, you can only earn these. You can't buy them. You can't find them. There's no treasure hunt for them. Well earned, well deserved.
All right. So in the last year, Cataldo Ambulance was generous enough to give us 2 different EMT certificates, or classes, EMT classes. We have actually Jojo, who's here. Jojo, if you want to say hi. Jojo was one of our students last year who earned his EMT class, and he has just finished his EMT and is in his first week of work as an EMT. So in keeping with that, Cataldo was generous enough to give us 2 more classes for their EMT. And I'm proud to say that Ronald, you guys stand up. Ronald and Jeffrey are the 2 students this year that
Nice job, nice job. Before we close this ceremony, there's one more presentation we'd like to give. We began this program, we asked to have an assistant from the school department help us with these students. We are lucky to have Brian Grable for the whole month of July to help us. He was an invaluable member of our team, and we want to recognize him for all his hard work and dedication to the program. Again, so into the family. I know we only had them for a short time. The fire service, we're away from our families, you know, in the good, the bad, during the snowstorms, during Christmas. It's a trying time for the families. So for this short time, I want to say thank you for sharing them with us. It's appreciated. Hopefully now they have a little bit of guidance as to whether they want to pursue this career or not. I didn't mention that. That's part of the program as well. So these 2, actually our team has put together a short presentation on how to navigate the civil service system. So in order to become a firefighter, you have to take a test through the state. Sometimes that's a challenging process. You need to go through civil service if you want to be a firefighter, a police officer. They have custodial, they have you know, Department of Public Works. There's all kinds of, they have you know, game wardens. Any of that, you have to go through the civil service in order to do it. So these students were exposed to how to navigate that system. So if firefighting isn't your career, hopefully it opened your eyes to something else. So again, thank you everyone for all you've done. Thank you for helping out with the program. Thank you for sharing your kids with us for, you know, the whole month. And thank you for getting involved in selecting these fine young students. That concludes our program for tonight. We have cake. We have some food. So Councilor Chakoudas, she owns Old Time, so she has food for us. Somewhere around the corner. We have cake, and at the end of the night, we want you to find your picture and take that as another memento of the program. Now we can make it.
Feel free to move your chairs to the tables that are set up.